from from 25 to 26 fiscal years. So we collected way more in October.
Good evening.
The bills were
This is
not
the
really
Finance
impacted the
Committee
last year.
meeting for December 9th, 2025. It is now 6 o'clock, and I'm calling this meeting to order. I guess we'll go around and see who all is here. I've introduced myself. You want to start us off?
Mark Evans, Alderman Ward 6.
We'll just go around.
Jesse Eckenroth, Chief of Operations.
Tamara Ingersoll, Finance Director.
Mayor Jamie Cleary.
David Lucky, private citizen.
Mark Bergdorf, Alderman Ward 1.
Andrew Hayslip, private citizen. Matt Elliott, Vice President, Hendersonville Firefighters Association. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and everyone watching as well. This is our final meeting of the year, and so we're just looking forward to the season. So Merry Christmas to you all. Let's get started by accepting the agenda. The motion.
So moved. And second.
All those in favor? Any changes? No? Okay.
No.
All those in favor? Aye. That's approved. Minutes from last meeting for September 23rd, because we did not have an October meeting.
Or November.
Or November. That's right.
I move to accept the minutes. Second.
All right. All those in favor? Aye. And those are approved. Did anyone sign up for public comments?
No, sir.
Okay. And we're on to ordinances and resolutions. We have a couple sort of companion ordinances that we're going to be discussing. Just to let you know, we may take a break so we can go discuss it over at the general committee meeting as well. But the first one's going to be reading of 2025-25, ordinance amending, it's for impact fees. And this is the one sponsored by Collins and Clary. And so I need a motion to discuss that.
So moved. Second.
Okay. What would you like to talk about? Anything?
Nothing in particular. I'm still need to read through all these ordinances to get a good idea. I think we just need to go ahead and discuss them here and then move them on to BOMA for a good discussion in that one as well. So everybody can put their heads together and see about it.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, these are very similar ordinances, but they do have some very defining differences. Especially one is residential only, and the other one is residential and commercial. So we should make sure that we're very clear on that. But it's important to establish that. But I agree that I think the best idea is for us to move these on to BOMA, but give an opportunity for the sponsored mayor, since you're here, if you wanted to talk about your ordinance a little bit, maybe spend just a couple minutes, and then we can talk about the other one here.
Sure. I think the biggest difference you'll find on page 35 and 36, and that shows the impact fee in the years that it would be collected, 2026. And we would pick a reasonable date, a fair date to start that 2026. Certainly won't be January 1st, won't be at the earliest possible date by law, which is typical what the wording is on ours. We'll find a fair date so that builders can understand that they need to prepare for that. 2027, it would stay that, and then it would increase 2028, 2029, 2030. We actually initially Rachel and I talked about taking that to 2035 because it would coincide with our transportation plan. Especially since 2/3 of the money, as you turn the next page, go to roads. And so this will not apply to commercial, just to residential, single family, multifamily. And then you see on the next page, page 36, how that breaks down is 1/3 will go to parks, 2/3 will go to roads, in both single family and multifamily, and you see how much that actually comes out to. Those are the big differences. And it's all based on the study that we've had completed, which is pursuant to state law.
Great. I do have just one really quick question. What do you know about what percentage of the recommended amounts this covers for parks and roads total?
It is in here, and I talked about it a bunch last week with Lance. You know what it is?
1/3 parks, 2/3.
Yeah, the percentage that we are.
It's somewhere in the 40 to 50%.
Yeah, as far as the total amount that the report says, that the study says we can have. You have
It was 50%.
I do remember roughly what it is?
That was like 29 or something.
Yes,
Oh,
that's right.
29%.
It changes, each year changes a little bit, so it runs up into 30%, but it starts below 30% initially.
I think it was like 29, 33, 37.
Right.
Okay.
That's
That's the other ordinance.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Getting ahead or something.
Well, I'm losing my mind.
And if I could add one other item is that at some point we absolutely have to get the credits portion enacted with this. But since we had two ordinances that are coming forward with impact fees, we made the credits ordinance, we made the credits language a separate ordinance. We may decide as a board that we just amend one of the impact fee ordinances to add the credit language in there.
So I know that the other ordinance, it has it in there already.
Okay. Just, okay.
Yeah, so sorry to interrupt. I
You're
just
fine,
wanted
you're
to
fine.
add that in. So yeah, I would not be opposed to adding those together at all. I did have a question on the credits portion since we're.
You already asked one
discuss all
question that I
these.
can't answer, so that's go ahead.
Close out discussion on this one, or can we lump it all in one?
I'm just gonna.
Procedurally, okay.
Yeah, as long as we get a motion and a second on how they're gonna, on each individual one as they're gonna move forward.
Okay. So what was the reason behind having, and maybe this is a question for you, Mr. Ray, what was the reason behind having the credits added to one but then separate in the other?
We wanted to separate it, and y'all wanted to keep it in there.
That's how the
Simple
sponsor,
as that.
Yeah.
that was directed by the sponsor.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't want to get I didn't want the board to get bogged down in discussing credits. I wanted to focus on impact fees, and then we could discuss credits, but they have to go. They pretty much have to go in tandem.
Yeah.
You guys want to do it all together, and that's fine. It's just really preference.
Okay. Gotcha.
I just, I guess I was kind of surprised why this has come up. I knew we had the workshop, and I guess I thought that maybe we were going to hear back from the consultants, and that we were had some other people from the Realtors Association and from the developers that were going to provide some input for it. I thought we were going to have another workshop. Maybe I was wrong about that. So I was kind of surprised that all of a sudden here at the end of 2025, we've got two proposals, ordinances that we're looking at. So I just, to me, it seemed like rushed, and maybe it's not, but it just seemed like all of a sudden we talked about it, then we didn't hear anything for 2 months, and then now here it is that we're having an ordinance. So
I tend to agree with you on that. I was unable to attend the first workshop. But for all intents and purposes, I feel like we do need to slow down a little bit and make sure that we do get the right project, get the right ordinance for what the city needs best. I agree with you there, Mark.
was there, I mean, am I wrong? Was there going to be another discussion with or was that it?
From the consultant's perspective, he's issued
He's
final
done.
reports.
Okay.
We did at the meeting, there were two parties that said they would provide some information to the city.
Uh-huh.
We have received one of them. We have not received another one.
Oh, okay.
So we do at least have one that we can share. We just
Mr. Stewart, is that correct?
we do not have one.
We do not have one. We have Mr. Alexis.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Can I say something about that? I just wrote a real short letter. I didn't get into a whole lot of detail because, I mean, you can run down a rabbit hole. I didn't want to run down a rabbit hole with two different ordinances and looking at the study that was completed by the consultant. It was just done October 29th.
Sure.
I mean, I hadn't seen it till today. So
Great.
So there wasn't any more thought as far as having any more workshops or discussion about the impact fee. We're now to the point where we have two ordinances, and that's what we're going to consider.
I mean, as a board, we could decide to have another workshop if we chose to, and push these down the road.
I would be in favor of that.
I probably would be too, but then I'm also kind of the others, we've been talking about this for a while too. So to me, I was just a little surprised when I got the agenda that these were on there. I'd not heard anything at all. And then all of a sudden they're on there. Not that saying that that's bad, or I just thought that there was going to be more discussion on it.
I think from a consultant standpoint, we've really beat
it.
Okay.
I think we have.
Sure, I get it.
But a credit system or something like that, that's BOMA's decision.
Okay.
But
I'll tell you, one of the first things I'm going to do in the next couple of days, I'm going to call David, I'm going to call Brian and say, hey, let's sit down and you give me your thoughts. And I welcome y'all to do the same thing. David's a pretty transparent guy.
Good. Okay.
What do you think about having a public forum or what's the word I'm thinking of?
Public hearing?
The public hearing, thank you. Public hearing at the next BOMA when we're going to be considering impact fees.
typically we'll run a public hearing on the second reading. So I guess potentially we could do it. I don't know if it's required. I
I guess it's not required, but
we can make it a public hearing.
Okay.
That's up to the board if they want to make it a public hearing.
And one
or
of the-
utilize citizen comment.
and one of the other things we're doing is we're going to have the planning commission weigh in on it, and they also have public comment opportunities as well.
Okay, good.
What's the reason procedurally? What's the reason for having public hearing on the second one versus the first?
There's some time limitations for a public hearing
Okay.
before it's passed on second reading.
Okay.
I mean, you can't schedule a public hearing and then wait like months and months before you have
21 days.
Yeah.
Before you act on it.
And how soon can you have a public hearing? Can you schedule one, and then how soon can you do it? Because it's like 48 hours to notify
Yeah, no, there's
A
weeks.
meeting.
You have to do weeks. So
You have
once
weeks,
it's
okay.
published, you
Public
have to
hearings.
publish it, and then you have to
Okay.
have weeks.
It has,
Okay.
has to be published, 10 days, 12 days before the actual hearing or something like that?
public hearing does.
Mhm.
Okay, gotcha. I knew there was something, 10 weeks.
I would be curious to hear what citizens think
Sure.
of this as well.
Sure.
Mhm. Need some feedback.
Mm-hmm. We don't know it all by any means.
No.
And we're representatives.
There'll definitely be citizen comments.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
people
but
don't know if they should sign up on a public hearing or citizen comments anyway, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
just having a public hearing is a bit more formal
Yeah.
to it, and then it gets announced out to the public that it's available to them. So, anything you want to discuss on the second one, and then we can start.
Do you want to suspend the rules to just consider? Is that what we're doing?
Not suspend the rules,
Yeah.
just actually, okay, why don't we go ahead and vote on the first one? And I want to make a motion to move it to BOMA with a neutral recommendation, which I'm going to encourage we do for all of them, because they are two very similar but very different as well,
I think it's
ordinances.
Mhm.
And I want to talk to everyone about
Sure.
it. So, anyways, I make that motion that we approve with a neutral recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Okay.
You want
Same,
to second that? Or you want me to second
No,
that?
you can second.
Okay, I'll second.
and same thing for the credit one that accompanies it, neutral recommendation, since they're combined. I make that motion.
Second.
Aye.
All those in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Okay,
Aye.
that's unanimous.
All right.
Anything specific you want to talk about the other ordinance that is sponsored by Martin, Sassy, Skidmore, and Bergdorf? The only thing I'll say on that one is it was set at a 50%, like Mr. Ray said, 50% of what was recommended for residential and commercial. So it's 50% for parks, 50% for roads, but of course there's no parks on the commercial side, so those are all zero.
Right.
I guess one question I would want to ask is, I know that's probably the biggest difference between the two
Mhm.
is, and obviously the amount, but why one would only be looking at residential and the other was looking at residential and commercial?
Sponsor preference.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And I would want to hear, what's the hope or the desire of the commercial side of it?
Yeah.
Or is there any downfall to it?
Well, and that's part of what we want to hear from the public hearing.
Got it.
That's all.
Okay.
I also do have some thoughts on that.
Okay, good.
But I want to reserve those for BOMA, so we can get everyone. So I'll say it twice. basically.
And David also addressed that in his email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the
That's
answer part of the question.
Okay, good.
All right. So, and for that one, I'll also make the motion that we send it to BOMA with the neutral recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. All right. Shall we take a? Do we know where they are?
Oh, I haven't gotten the text yet,
Okay.
so
Well,
we're
then
good.
we will just continue on until we receive that text, unless they forgot. And
They won't
we will
forget.
listen. All right. Next, we have reading of ordinance 2025-24, an ordinance to amend Title V Municipal Finance and Taxation to allow for the acceptance of partial payments for City of Hendersonville real and personal property taxes. And I'm the sponsor, so I will move that we move that for discussion.
Second.
All right. So this would allow, and Tamara, can you speak on it? You know a heck of a lot more about it than I.
Absolutely. So this ordinance, if passed, would allow, beginning with the 2026 tax year, for us to be able to allow citizens that come in to make a partial payment on their property tax. Basically set up a payment plan between October and February and come in and pay monthly on their property taxes. Historically, we have not had the capability with our software to be able to do that. We just implemented a new software that has that functionality. So every year we have a handful of citizens that are typically fixed income. They qualify for either the property tax freeze or the property tax relief program that ask, can I just pay $100 now and come and pay $100 next month? Well, we haven't been able to accommodate that, so we would like to be able to do that for those citizens. They would have to come in person to do that. There were some questions before related to if that would encourage larger businesses to only pay part of their taxes and part later. I don't think that's an issue. The majority of them don't pay until January or February anyway, the folks that owe the large one. But it would this would benefit some of those fixed income folks that make it easier for them to budget month over month to pay those.
I'm glad you said that about the difference between the commercial and residential, because that was a question I had as well.
Yeah, that question had come up before as we were talking about putting this together.
I think it's a great plan. I'd like to co-sponsor that if you'd like to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love that.
Thank you.
I especially now that we have the capability of doing so. I think this is important for our citizens to do. It's the right thing,
Easy enough to do.
and it's easy enough.
It's very easy.
And we're not going to be charging for this ability.
Mhm.
We're just going to split it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it'll be in 2 payments, or can they do more than 2 payments?
They we had to map out a plan on here. So the plan is that we did it that they can do 5 monthly payments between October and February. That mirrors what Sumner County does. It mirrors what Gallatin does. So that way we're being consistent with the other cities in our area. We do have a limit. They can't pay less than $50 as a, we don't want to set up payments less than $50. And then if they are getting a relief program through the state, that relief payment applies to the very end of their property tax.
Okay.
So it's the last payment. It doesn't apply to the first payment. So we set for, and all of that is based on recommendations from MTAS and following the TCA on how
What relief program are we discussing in
It's-
particular?
the tax relief program.
Okay. From
for-
the state that they come in.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
And also, we're not going to be publicly advertising this. It's just going to be as people walk in and they ask about it, it's available to them. So,
Yeah. And it'll be for next tax year. By the time this is approved, it'll be the end of January, so it won't have any effect
Right.
for the current
This
tax year, but it will be there and available for folks in the coming year.
This is a great opportunity. Thank you for bringing this forward, Saz.
Absolutely. Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes, with a positive recommendation,
Yes.
Alma?
Yes.
Okay, great.
That's what I got.
Missed that.
I got that.
She knew what she
Missed that part. All right, looks like we're still, okay.
Still.
We're gonna go ahead and take a break. We can go.
Oh, did they
jump
weigh
into-
you?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
5:10.
Say 10-minute break.
Okay.
we are reconvening.
Okay.
You're live.
Live now, great. All right, welcome back. Next, we have on the agenda Resolution 2025-45, a resolution establishing a purchasing card policy for the city of Hendersonville, and to replace the existing card policy dated July 14, 2009, with the new policy upon implementation of the purchasing card program.
Do you want to tell us?
That was a
about
mouthful.
That was a mouthful. Sorry. And
It's about time that we have it.
it is about time
That's
we have
long
a purchase.
time coming.
Yes. Very long time
I'm so
coming.
glad to see that.
So the quick version of this, I guess, is that we are moving forward, hopefully, with the purchasing card program that will replace our very old, antiquated credit card program, where we have a card assigned to one card assigned to most departments, and one card shared between several at City Hall, where people check in a card and go use it and bring it back, and it's very inefficient. And the card sharing, if there's an odd charge on it, you know who's checked it out, but did they hand that card to somebody else who made a purchase? It's just not internal control best practices. It's not a good idea. So moving forward with the P card program allows us a lot of flexibility to set limits for individual card holders, depending on their role, depending on the needs of the department. We can turn cards off immediately through an online portal.
This is all through central purchasing finance.
Yeah, finance will be
Okay.
coordinating the implementation of.
You'll set the limits and all that.
Yeah, we'll get recommendations from the department heads, but all the limits are approved by finance. For the finance staff, the final approval of the limits will be approved by Jesse. Just for that separation, make sure we're good. And then we'll be monitoring the program throughout over the first year or so to see what people are actually spending, and then adjust credit limits appropriately. We are also developing a training program, so anybody who is assigned a card who actually gets a P card will go through a training that outlines what they're expected, what documentation they're expected to do, and making sure they're turning in receipts that are itemized. What they can purchase, what they can't purchase. The policy that's included in here outlines what are prohibited purchases. It talks about what the consequences are if you violate the policy. Maybe a warning. Depending on how egregious it is, it could be all the way up through termination if they use it to buy things for personal use. So it's a much better place than where we have been. The current policy is 16 years old, and it's just
It's running its course.
time for an update.
Yeah.
We're not changing processor to the company that's managing this, or are we?
Yes, we are.
I
We
was going
will.
to ask you who's the
Yes,
financial
we will.
institution.
So, the state has a statewide contract with U.S. Bank for P cards that we're going to piggy bank on.
Okay.
So, and I'm very my old agency used U.S. Bank, and we're very pleased with them as a P card provider.
And
So
what's the administration cost on this?
there'll be some implementation time that staff. There's not going to be any additional dollar cost to implement it.
There's no fees as far from U.S. Bank? Or?
No, and then depending on our spend, there will be rebates that come back. Depending on how much we spend, we get rebates back.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, there won't be any cost to the city. Now, if we pay late, we would have to pay interest.
Obviously.
But assuming that we pay our bills on time, which we are dedicated to
We
doing.
pay Rogers Company with the car.
Get
$6 million.
those rebates back.
Pave another 100 miles of road with those rebates, couldn't we?
And we'll end up with some staff time savings once this is implemented. We currently have, I don't know the exact number, but there are many, 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 many little lines of credit at a whole bunch of different businesses. Ace Hardware, tractor supply company, where
Mhm.
they go in and they buy something and we get an invoice and we're keying that invoice in
Yeah,
to pay.
yeah.
And then we have to reconcile that account at the end of the month. So with this, we should be able to close the majority of those small little
Yeah.
accounts and be
Yeah.
able to just have the P card accounts to reconcile every month. So it'll
So much more efficient.
so much more efficient.
Why did we not do this 2 years ago?
Because we were busy
Well, I think
implementing
we-
technology,
Yeah,
and now that we're at the tail end of that, now we can move on to additional
we just got
efficiencies.
a finance director 2 years ago as well. Something like that.
That's
yeah.
true.
Is that about right?
I've
little over.
been. I just hit 3 years.
Did you get 3
I
years
just hit
now?
3
Oh,
years.
congratulations.
Actually, I think what's the date today? The 9th. I think
Right.
technically the 12th. I think Friday's my
Okay,
is my
great.
official 3 years.
Nice.
Staying, right?
hmm
Okay, good.
I need 2 more years to be vested with TCRS,
That's
Got the
right.
hook.
and I need
point.
more than that to pay for my kids' college. So you
Got
guys are
the
stuck with me.
All right. Any other questions on 2025-45? Did not do this at the beginning, so I need a motion and a second.
I make a motion that we move this to BOMA. I think it's a great program.
With a positive recommendation?
Positive, yeah.
Second.
All right. I agree. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And that passes with a positive recommendation. We still have time, so let's move on to number 6. Discussion of property tax bills for 1455 and 1473 Center Point Road. This is in Ward 3, so
Yes, this is right on your doorstep.
it really is.
So
Where is this? I don't know.
it's over. It's on Center Point Road. It's right near the entrance to Mansker Farms.
Oh.
It's right over there. Yeah. So a little bit of background on this one. The mayor asked me to put this on here to get some thoughts from you all. So there's 2 properties, 1455 and 1473 Center Point Road, that were donated by the developer to the city.
Oh.
Well, for $1. And that happened in October of 2024, so a year ago. And when that happened, there were some taxes that were due from on those property taxes. There's property taxes due on both of those properties that didn't get paid before the deed was handed over to the city. The developer had said, I am not going to pay those fees, those property taxes, because we gave you this land that's worth way more, so that's on you
Okay.
guys. So there are taxes due from prior to the city taking ownership that are due to both the city and the county. So we just wanted to bring this to the finance committee to have a conversation about it. This on page 247 in the packet, you'll see a summary for each of the individual ones. If these bills are paid prior to the end of December, that's the first column there. That's how much we would have to pay in total. Both of them end up just under $1,000. If they were paid in January, there would be one additional month of interest that would have to be paid on those. Essentially, both of them under $1,000. Yes, we would have to pay, quote unquote, pay ourselves for the city portion of that in order to be able to clear those bills off of the books, and then we would have to make a payment to the county as well. I don't think there would be it would be necessary to do a budget amendment in order to pay them, but I know the mayor asked me to put this on here so we could talk about it, so you guys were aware that these were out there.
So, if I could,
Yeah,
Matt,
please.
thank you.
Go ahead.
Both of these pieces of property are along Center Point Road. Are they utilized by the city in any way?
And they really couldn't be.
That was my other question. Well, why did the developer decide to give them to the city? Do you recall? Do you have any idea?
So go back to the late '90s when Shannon Place, which then became Mansker Farms,
Correct.
was under consideration,
Mhm.
and there were a lot of conversations about pools and even golf courses and fire halls, and the developers didn't get what they wanted, and so they ended up going to court, and it wasn't clear what the judge expected to be donated to the city, and at some point the developer felt like they were supposed to deed land to the city for a fire hall.
Okay.
And we built what was going to be in Mansfield Farms. We built out of Durham Farms, and then rebuilt Fire Hall 2, which is primary to Mansfield Farms. So they still want to deed that land to us, but we really don't have much use for it.
Okay.
How much land is it?
Is it a total of about an acre between the two of them?
The two lots,
A little less.
I should say,
I'd
right
say,
there.
yeah, I'd say about an acre to acre and a half. maybe.
There's 1
Okay.
acre. They're
The-
both, are they both listed on here?
It's
There's one says 1.59.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Let's see, Chris.
and
1455 and
Bill number
1473 Center Point.
are they the same account?
So there's a good
Parcel
portion of it
number.
that has a slope that is going to be unbuildable.
Okay.
It's sort of like almost Corps of Engineers land. You might own
Okay.
3 acres, but you
Okay.
really own 1.
Okay, so they're about 1.5 each, it looks like, as far as total acres.
I'm sure there's other land the city has been given over the years that we have like this.
And I had a conversation 2 weeks ago about somebody give us land. I said, no thanks. If it's just a liability, we don't want it.
It's like that. It's like that land that's right there in Durham Farms. It's like let's just give it back to.
Change it to search by address. On the property search, change it to search by address. The thing you just closed. Property search, yeah.
Oh,
That's search by address, yeah. And it's 1455 Center Point Road.
I do fear that if we told them we didn't want the land, that they would feel that gave them license to build houses.
Yeah, the deed, it's already been
So
deeded to
there they
the
are.
city over a year ago.
okay.
And that's part of it. We said, yeah, we want the land,
Mhm.
but don't put any restrictions on it.
Yeah,
And we have coordinated with the county already, so the taxes for the 2025 tax year were marked as tax exempt, and that's been taken care of. This is just that old 2024 from the prior.
Oh, is this the land that's after the main
Right after the
entrance
main
and
entrance.
before the
Entrance,
turn?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
right there at that bridge.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, it's
Okay.
right, it's before the bridge
Right.
because you also have that power station
Yeah,
there
yeah.
too.
Okay. I know
Yeah.
where it is, yeah.
So
It's
yes,
that-
right next to the power
And
station.
then it's one of the other two right next to it.
So y'all can't, this committee can't tell me
Yeah,
what to
it's
do,
those two.
and you can't tell the board what to do, but I'd like some direction on what to do with the taxes.
what do you want to do with it? Since we can't tell you what to do, what do you want to do?
I don't want to pay them, but I want to get this done with.
So in order to get it done with, we
We
have to.
probably have to pay the taxes that
Well,
they're
that's kind of
requesting.
what I was
What
thinking.
could we do with that land? I know we're not really gonna wanna build on it, but could we then sell it to Mansker Farms for them to do something with it?
I mean, possibly. I'm not sure what they want to do with it.
Well, anytime you have land, it's an asset.
Unless you're putting nothing on there but just mowing it.
Well,
We have those.
it will go
You
up
know,
in price.
Pickleball courts, it's not big enough for a pool, and anything you got to do, you got to think of
Right.
parking and restrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a dog park? Maybe. Is it just a passive area? Maybe.
It's a total of 3 acres.
Yeah. So
And it doesn't have very good access.
no. You've got a crook in the road right nearby there, so turning in and out isn't the best situation. Pretty much the only reason I was interested in fulfilling what the judge said by having them give us the land is so they wouldn't build houses on it.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
So moving forward, you recommend paying the taxes on it.
I think of all our options to finish this whole thing up is paying the taxes on it. How much?
I don't see the other.
$2,000.
No,
No,
rough,
1,000.
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it was 1,000 each.
Mm-hmm.
no. Each property is just under
$1,500.
each property is just under 500. The total at the bottom is
Oh.
the combined for the two properties,
Okay, there it is.
and it's in
Combined,
2
okay.
columns depending on what month. If we were to pay it,
Right.
December
I
versus
see.
January.
Okay.
Can we
So
go ahead?
$100,000.
Yeah.
yeah,
I say, I mean, if the mayor wants to go ahead and take care of it, then let's just go ahead. And,
So we're taking
I mean-
care of it, but then there's going to be taxes every year.
No.
Oh,
It's now tax exempt since
yeah.
we own
Okay.
it.
Since
Then
we own
let's
it, it's
just-
tax exempt.
let's just do it and be done with it. I'll make a motion.
Will we need to take care of the land? Is there maintenance that needs?
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of thinking if
Mow
we could
it.
sell it to Mansker Farms, we'd have to take care of it. But
Well,
we can sell it to them for 1,500, make a profit.
So we did talk to the developer and said, okay, this is by right our land. Do y'all want to buy it back from us? And they want to put houses on it. We said,
Yeah.
okay, that's not worth it.
You know, I don't want that.
Well, maybe something will come up between now and next year. I mean, there's all kinds of things that people want to do, or dog park. I mean, that's,
Yeah. I mean, I live in Mansfield Farms, as you all
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and we don't have a dog park. So if we could justify
I
that,
think
that'd be great.
the community would appreciate that.
Yeah.
probably.
Maybe the community leases it from the city for
Could have been.
$1 a year or whatever.
There you go.
Turns it
And they
into-
can utilize it, and
And then they
Good
maintain it.
point.
they maintain it.
That's,
Yeah.
that'd be ideal.
Absolutely. I like that. Someone want to make or I guess there's no motion to be made on this.
It sounds like y'all are in
Um,
agreement that,
Yeah, we're.
Yeah, let's just get this over with.
hold on, Mark shaking his head.
Oh,
No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know. Let's get it done.
Okay, okay. Y'all are in agreement.
Sorry. In my mind, I'm just thinking this is just really.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the guidance.
Well, thank you for asking.
We have
We need to
15
go.
minutes. Do you all want to go over our analysis?
Yeah, I
here?
think we
Let's
should.
do
That would
it.
be.
Wait,
That's some time.
you still have 2 more items.
Oh gosh.
Which will take 30 seconds.
Let me go back.
Number
My
7.
mistake. Okay, discussion of letter to Sumner County regarding funds bequeathed to the Hendersonville Public Library. Yes, Mayor, could you give us an update on that?
You have a copy of that letter on page 254,
Mhm.
254 through 256. Since they have a new library board, I sent a letter to the chairman and copied all the other board members by email, updating them and telling them the situation, and asking that they pay us $161,000 of the $320,000 that was bequeathed to the owners of the Hendersonville Library. Haven't heard back.
Of which we are 50% owner.
Exactly. Haven't heard back from them. The adequate facilities tax situation, I should really turn this over to Lance.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Lance. As I understand, there's no real update, and
Are we talking about the AFT
yes,
letter? Yeah, the letter that we received last week, it is still demanding the payment, but it's also requesting that for some information on some permits that were issued that we need to get with codes with to gather that information and collect it. It also, the letter is demanding compliance with the confirmation that AFT has been paid, which we have been doing. As soon as codes was clear about what it was that they were supposed to be doing back this past year, I guess, this past summer.
I
2024.
think
It's
in
April, wasn't it?
April.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, they immediately complied and they immediately began doing it. So they're already doing that. We just need to collect some more information, and I recommended that we get the information, look at it again, and then talk about it at the next finance committee meeting.
Want to just defer that?
Yeah,
Continue to January.
absolutely. Yeah, let's push it down the road and discuss it. Continue discussing until we get this resolved.
Yeah, and you get the information that they're requesting.
Yeah.
And I'll work with codes to forward this message to them.
Okay, great.
I have a question for both of these things, for the AFT and for the library. It could be that we're at an impasse, that, we think one way, the county thinks another. Where do we think that that's going to end up being?
It would be up to the county to litigate it to the city for, I'm not
For
sure
the
about
AFT, but for the library, we would be the one probably that would sue the county.
Maybe not, because we are,
Oh, it does.
and I need to make you aware of this. Are you saying I shouldn't say what I'm about to
Oh,
say?
I don't know what you're gonna say, but I'm just still nervous about it.
Okay.
Okay.
But as far as the AFT, I can't speak to the library, but the AFT, I would imagine that the next step would be the county would sue the city.
When y'all adjourn, I'll tell you what it's.
Well, what do you think? Should we go ahead and adjourn? We have the tax information. We've lost a member. So,
I'm good with where everything is. I make a motion, we adjourn.
all right. I second that. All those in favor, aye.
I